So sometimes when you're on the biggest stage and you have a moment, you tend to have the lights on you, and you could say something very impactful, or you could say something like Noah Lyles just found out something really stupid. However, before I sit here and denigrate him and sit there and talk about how disastrous this has kind of turned out for him, I do want to give and play devil's advocate a little bit. Did he have a point? Let's talk about it. Listen, if you're new to the channel, it's your boy P.kidd. This is P.kidd Talks NBA, and we're now diving into Olympic type conversations, kind of, sort of, really, because all over the news, you've heard all the statements about Noah Lyles and how he made this particular statement about the, world champion being on, the banner of when the NBA players are in the finals, or the NBA is in the finals, or whoever wins the finals, what have you. And you know what? I was sitting there like, buddy, tripping. Big facts, tripping, right? But then I saw a comment on one particular post that was cooking him, by the way, and it gave me a different perspective. And it gave me one of those, if this is what he was trying to communicate, I can see it type situation. The comment was, dude is literally just saying that the U.S. isn't the center of the universe like it tries to make itself out to be. And it's just another example of U.S. hubris to call yourself world champions when you are, in fact, not the only country in the world. It's not a difficult concept. Upon hearing that, I was just like, wait. Because there is a point to be made that while the United States is a dominant world power, you could say top one, top two, whatever your political stance is. We're not going to get into that. That's not what this video is about. The United States is not the only place in which basketball is played, and the United States has also lost in the Olympic trials before. They've taken some L's, and it's one of those things where I could see, and I can even remotely envision that if you allowed all the players to play at their, native country, that the competition would be a lot better from the Olympic standpoint. And so I can see, like, hey, if you just solely just had this as a, NBA champions, I can see that. But to say world champion means that this particular team has solidified itself as the best in the world. But based off what metric, what have they tried? I think that's what really was trying to be communicated. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with that sentiment. I do believe that the NBA has the best talent in the league. And if they really wanted to, we could put together the best players in the NBA and roll them out there on the Olympic trials. And we'd steamroll almost every trial, because that's just what we've done. But I'm not going to sit here and act like the playing field has not been leveled, or is not leveling now. That I do believe. I do believe international competition is getting better. I do believe that certain countries, when their ability to allow players to play younger, play professionally earlier, is leading to us having players like Luka Doncic, who can go out there and put up LeBron numbers since the age of 19, because he has so much freaking experience. You got to remember, at like 16, 17, he was playing our Olympic team in the our Olympic team in the Olympics. Like he played against prime Russell Westbrook, prime KD, and things of that nature at 16, and was giving them go. So when you have something like that, when you have people who have that experience and stuff like that at an earlier age, it makes for an easier or a level playing field early on. I do see that happening. I do see when you have, French phenoms like Victor Wembanyama, who can go out there and destroy people at an earlier age. Him having that experience early, I can see why that is. I do see how the international game is being played more physically than the NBA is being played, and that is causing some disruption in how the U.S. is holding itself in these particular trials. I can see all of that and still sit there and say, if the U.S. wanted to, they would steamroll any other team. Simply just American-based players. Because the game of basketball, this particular, the way that they train is just different. There's levels to it. And you got to respect it. Now, I know what Noah Lyles was trying to do, and I think this was a swing and a miss. I think he could have articulated it a lot different. I don't know exactly what his goal was. But I do know this. He's pretty much put himself on notice. And now people are not even going to remember for what he's actually done. He's going to remember from his comments. And so no matter what he goes in life, he better bring it. Because people are going to be on his tail regardless. And you can expect any team or any player that plays Olympic basketball to bring it simply for that reason. Simply because they just want to shut everybody up. Because while there are many American-based commentators like myself who will sit there and roast this man, there's some noise overseas that'd be like, hey, that's kind of right. So might make for some interesting basketball. Listen, I want to hear your thoughts though, man. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, put it in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not you think Noah was out of pocket. What do you think he was ultimately trying to communicate? I want to hear what you have to say in regards to it, period. And man, let's just get back to this daily content, man. Listen, the one thing you're not going to get out of me is BS. I'm not going to make up stories just to come on this thing and post those videos. That's just not who I am. It's not what I do. But I do realize that doesn't bode well for trying to build a channel. So I'm going to try to put more good content with intent out without trying to clickbait and stuff like that. You'll never get that from P.kidd, whether it be here on P.kidd Talks NBA or over on Windy City Breeze, but you can catch us daily Monday through Friday. Y'all go and check that out, man. Until next time, peace.